Hi everyone, I'm really happy to be here. We are a proud partner of the event, but don't worry, it won't be a 5-minute sales pitch about Scrib. We are working with thousands of companies, helping them to measure the quality of their user experience. So I wanted more to share insights that we got with them about the impact of AI and how to measure actually this impact in their product. So the first insight that we have is that we have to realize that for the past 40 years, actually, we had a lot of UI evolution, UI changes, but not a single UX change in those experiences. For instance, if you look at the first version of Amazon.com, you still have the same pattern that we have today, like a product page, a search engine, a cart, payment funnel, etc. And today, we still are using the same patterns when we use this website. If you look at SaaS companies like Salesforce, for instance, it's also the same. We still have in today's Salesforce form to fill, box to tick, etc. So we had obviously some design evolution, some UI evolution, but not real user experience evolution. It's also the case even with the introduction of the iPhone 20 years ago, which was maybe the last main UI and design and device evolution, but the experience is still the same. If you look at a mobile app, an e-commerce mobile app, you still have product pages, a search engine, a cart, etc. So we had a lot of device, design, UI evolutions, but the experience remained the same. Until today, because today, with AI, we have more and more real new experiences, conversational experiences, semantic experiences, generative experiences, etc. And so all the tools that we are using every day, like Notion, for instance, are now integrating AI. You can ask questions to your documents, you can generate content with AI, etc. So we are living a radical experience transformation across all the user journey. More and more people are using AI instead of search engine. AI has a strong impact on conversion rate, on the average order value. It has a strong impact on the satisfaction of your users when they had an interaction with an AI during their journey. So the transformation in terms of experience is actually pretty huge for the first time in the internet history. So since the transformation is so big, obviously AI became a strategic topic in the companies, as you know, if you are here today. But we have some data about that in a recent study, for instance, from the BCG. We now know that more than 70% of CEOs are the decision makers about AI in the company, and 90% of them think that AI and especially agents should have a first ROI this year after several years of experimentations, a lot of investments, etc. So now, as product teams, we have to deliver impact and show that the feature and those new experiences that we released are useful and have an impact for the company. Yet, we see that product teams are still struggling to deliver this impact. This is based on a study that we made on hundreds of product teams that you can come and get at our booth if you want. But we see that a lot of those teams receive an order like, we must do AI now. And so they start by optimizing some process, reducing some cost, but not really improving the UX of their user and solving real problem. And so at the end, when you look at measuring the impact, it's still pretty poor. Some of them are tracking adoption, retention. We have some satisfaction measurement with, the thumbs up and thumbs down, but the average response rate is pretty low. So it's not enough to really measure the real impact of AI, even if now companies want to measure this impact. So actually, we think that this is something that can change, because at the end, if you want to have a real impact and while meeting those sometimes contradictory expectations from the C-level and your users, you have to respond to 3 simple questions. Which use case should we prioritize? How to boost adoption? And how to optimize the quality, and how I can measure how people are using those new experiences in my product to improve my impact. And so We now have the ability to actually measure how people are using those products. And if you want to know more about that, please come and meet us at our booth, because for instance, in Scrib, you can analyze the behavior to spot friction points and see how AI could be useful. You can promote new features in context to increase their adoption. You can analyze all your conversation, track post-AI conversion to measure the ROI. So this is really something that is possible today if you want to respond to those three simple questions. How can I prioritize the best use case? How can I promote them to boost adoption? And how can I track the quality of the experience to optimize it over time? So please come and meet us, and we will tell you how you can do that with Scrib. Thanks a lot.